Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shayyan Ahmad. I'm in grade 7 and I go to St. George Fairburn. My project is called Clean It Up, Cleaning Up Oil Spills Using Nanotechnology. Oil spills at sea are a serious hazard, causing enormous ecological damage. Could a novel idea combining nanotechnology and magnetism come to the rescue? Magnetism is the study of physical forces accompanying magnets. Nanoscience is a more recent addition to the world of science fields. A nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter long. In layman terms, it is about 50,000 to 100,000 times smaller than the width of a human hair. Now, what if we brought magnetism and nanoscience together? Would magnetic materials still exert magnetic properties if we reduced it to nanoparticles? This experiment will explore the efficiency of separating oil from water using various amounts of ferrofluid and a strong neodymium magnet. One interesting aspect of these magnetic nanoparticles is their ability to stay suspended in liquids, creating a ferrofluid. What is so unique about that? Have you ever put iron fillings in oil or water? Did they float, sink, or stay suspended? They sink eventually. Until recently, there was no way to create a fluid that had magnetic properties. The ingredient list of ferrofluids is surprisingly short. A liquid, referred to as the carrier fluid, ferromagnetic nanoparticles, and a surfactant or soap-like substance to keep the nanoparticles from clumping together. When no strong magnetic field is present, the ferrofluid flows as we expect liquids to flow. However, when a magnetic field is introduced, the ferrofluid is pulled to the magnet and you see the ferrofluid jump to the magnet, where it might create beautiful spike-like structures defying gravity. The idea is to somehow make the spilled oil magnetic, so strong magnets could be used to separate the magnetic oil from the non-magnetic water. This project concentrates on the first two steps, making the oil magnetic and separating the magnetized oil from the water. Could this messy fluid help clean up oil spills at sea? This project will try to find out what is the efficiency of using nanotechnology and magnetism to clean up oil spills and determine if it is a viable alternative compared to other methods used today. My hypothesis is that higher amount of ferrofluid used would be more effective in magnetically separating oil and water. I believe this because when ferromagnetic nanoparticles from the ferrofluid spread and mix with the spilled oil, it will make it more magnetic, and then a strong magnet will be able to remove the oil mixture from the water efficiently. Materials and equipments used are mentioned here. Not for the procedure, but before that, a quick warning. Neodymium magnets are very strong. They can interfere or even reset pacemakers. Never put a neodymium magnet in your mouth. Always keep them away from magnetized objects. Ferrofluids create stains, so take appropriate measures to keep the fluid contained. So for the experiment, I added water to cover the bottom of 3 petri dishes, then added green food coloring. Use a pipette to float 2.5 milliliters of mineral oil on the water in each petri dish. In the first dish, don't add any ferrofluid, control sample. In the second dish, add 1 drop of ferrofluid, and in the third dish, add 5 drops of ferrofluid and labeled accordingly. Then I put the magnet in a Ziploc bag and moved it around the petri dish and wiped off the oil on the bag and repeated 1 time. Then I transferred the contents remaining in the petri dish to the graduated cylinder and measured the remaining oil. I repeated this procedure for a total of 3 trials. Then I made a bar graph to illustrate my results and analyzed the data. My findings were that my calculated maximum average efficiency was 42% in the dish with 5 drops of ferrofluid, whereas the one with 1 drop of ferrofluid efficiency was only 8%. This showed me that the initial results of the experiment did support my hypothesis, yet with the subsequent testing my hypothesis was not supported. My initial results showed that the efficiency of this method of oil spill cleanup was only 42% in the best case. Most methods used today, for example oil skimming machines, have a 90% efficiency rate. In subsequent testing with additional ferrofluid, the efficiency of the cleanup procedure dropped significantly to 20%. My observation was that as I used more ferrofluid, there was a limit to how much oil the magnet could pick up in each sweep. Further studies and variations to the experiment that can be done is to investigate whether creating small waves or stirring the liquid in the petri dish has an influence on the efficiency. Or what happens if ferrofluid accidentally drops on the water instead of an oil spill? Will it sink and cause an environmental hazard? How about different strengths of magnets or different shapes? Will the surface area of the magnet play an important role? Or the efficiency of removing oil using various temperatures of ferrofluid? In summary, nanotechnology has enabled the creation of a magnetic liquid known as ferrofluid. And although the application of nanotechnology for oil spill cleanup is still in its nascent stage, I believe it offers great promise for the future. This project was an attempt to understand and unravel a few mysteries of the nanotechnology and its usage. Jazakallah for your time. Assalamu alaikum.